So I'm about to head out for day 2 of squirrel hunting. Now, if you hadn't seen my previous video about the ground blind, I did invest in a ground blind after returning that piece of garbage Moultrie trail cam. So I had a little bit of funds to reinvest elsewhere, so I bought a ground blind. Now I realized that I am wearing camo, and in a ground blind, an all black ninja-like outfit would be ideal, but I don't have one of those. So I bought a camo ninja outfit, but not straight up black ninja outfit. So I'm not exactly going to blend in with the shadows, especially when I'm flashing this much pale skin, but I'm hoping that it'll be enough for squirrels. They're going to be preoccupied because there's a lot of food around where I'm going to be hunting them, ambushing them. So they're going to be distracted. Acorns are falling. There's also the grain that has come out of the deer feeder. So I think they'll be distracted enough, and we'll see. Hopefully it'll be a productive day. It'll be first time using this blind. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to spend some time out and see what I can see. And hopefully we'll see some squirrels, and hopefully we'll be able to take them out. This is the Ruger 17.7. It's a break barrel Springer, and I'm using the RWS Powerball pellets for maximum penetration. So hopefully we'll have better success this time with a ground blind than I did last time when I was in full camo, just sitting out on a bucket. The bucket that I'm currently sitting on now. So I'll be bringing my bucket over there to sit on, but I'll at least be in a blind. So we'll see how this goes. Thank you so much for joining me on this, and hopefully this turns out to be a productive day. So let's find out. So I think that's going to be about it for the day. My camera is about to die. The squirrels have been a little bit more cautious. Probably doesn't help that there's a dead squirrel and 2 dead chipmunks underneath the feeder. There was a lot of action. I didn't get all of it because I didn't record some of my shots. There were misses anywhere, or at least I'm pretty sure there were misses. The problem is that this gun is not sighted improperly anymore. So I originally sighted it for the distance at which I was hunting last time. So when I was sitting on the bucket, hiding in the bushes, that was pretty spot on, or at least it felt like it. But I'm not exactly in the same place. So that area, the ground was not even enough for me to set up the blind properly, so I ended up setting up the blind way in front of it. So I went from 10 yards down to 5 or 6 yards. Like I'm right on top of the feeder. And that was just all over the place. I tried my best to account for that difference and adjust where I was shooting and what I was sighting, but I was missing all over the place, and that's just the way it is. So it actually got so bad that I actually moved the blind back as far as I could to that original position, and definitely got better. I learned I had to have a significant change in where I was holding the sights to properly hit, but it's still not perfect. So I made a lot of missing shots. I did end up with 1 squirrel and 2 chipmunks, so that's something, but not the most amazing day considering I took a few other shots. So I don't know what footage I'm going to include in the final video, because I included a bunch of other footage that I don't think is really particularly worth it. It's mostly me complaining. There's a hawk. Mostly me complaining about the sighting and wanting to move the blind, so I don't think I'll include any of that because I don't think anyone wants to see me babble. I kind of wanted to do like an intro, get straight to some shots, and then wrap up, which I'm trying to do now. So again, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to measure the number of paces from the blind to basically right underneath the feeder. I'll use that as sort of like a reference point, and I have to sight this back in at that distance because I don't know. It wasn't good. And I will say the hunting from the blind has been a very positive experience. Nothing saw me. Like the chipmunks were coming out in droves. I mean, there was like half a dozen at a time most of the time. I try to get some film of that, which I might include. But they were just coming in left and right, and I actually didn't want to kill too many of them because they were acting as like a canary in like a canary in the caves, in the coal mine, I guess. Where they would, they were obviously a signal to the squirrels that, hey, everything's okay, because they would all come in, start eating, and then slowly but surely squirrels would come in. There's actually one point where like 4 squirrels were coming in at a time. That's when I shot one, and there was actually another squirrel up on the branches that didn't even run away. Didn't see me, was not even particularly startled by the gun, but that really drove home the point that I need to have a blind while hunting, even squirrels, so I can properly film. Because I was adjusting and I was moving all around and I was doing this and playing with the camera, and nothing totally scared them off. Like occasionally they would like look up from the corn and be like, "Was that something?" No, it wasn't, and they'd just go back to it. And again, like I said, even when I shot, they didn't even seem to be too bothered by the gunshot. So that was. Maybe they were confused, but they weren't running away necessarily. Of course, when I shot at them and I nearly missed them, those ones would take off, but they would come back. So, all in all, I don't know if it was a successful day. A lot of frustration. I'll definitely come back out for another round. I have not even, there's no annual bag limit, but I have not even reached my daily bag limit. But I've only been coming out like a couple hours at a time. I've been out here maybe 2.5 hours, and a portion of that was just trying to figure out my gun where it should be, and figuring out how to sit in this blind. But overall, positive experience. I'm looking forward to using this blind for turkey hunting and deer hunting and more squirrel hunting. So I guess that's it. So I really appreciate you coming along. I apologize it's not the murder spree you probably are looking for when you watch a hunting video, but again, I'm just getting used to this. I'm just learning everything, this gun, how to shoot, a moving spastic animal, and also trying to record it at the same time. So that's a whole other dimension that kind of throws me off. So in any case, thank you so much for watching. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Please like this video, because that makes a huge difference in terms of how this video will show up in YouTube rankings and whatnot. So it's super, super duper helpful. So subscribe, like, and yeah. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for joining me on this journey.